Fair enough, boys. Big game this weekend. Manchester derby. How you feeling about it? Lewis? From your point of view, coming to Old Trafford, I'm sure there is almost zero fear, zero worry at this moment in time. Should be from your point of view, you must be thinking it's going to be a relatively easy day and a simple win.
Yeah. Well, I thought that last year, and that didn't go too well either. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure on the game for City because obviously you expect Arsenal to win in their game against Sheffield United, so they're going to go 3 points ahead of us by the time we play you guys. And listen, obviously, yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm putting any United players in my starting 11. So yes, we should win the game, but at the end of the day, as everyone on this panel knows, when you play a derby match, that isn't how the game goes. You know what I mean? It's anything can happen. Like last year, you got a stroke of luck with the refereeing decision. But fundamentally, the reason that we didn't win last year, in my opinion, was our back four was shocking. We played Cancelo, Ake, Akanji, and Walker. You know what I mean? 4 players, and Akanji was in his first season, who are not great at putting the ball up the pitch. And we had a midfielder dropping deep, and Kevin De Bruyne was isolated, and that's why we really struggled. In this game, it's going to be a totally different back four. We're going to have Gvardiol probably playing. He can transition the ball up the pitch. John Stones should play the match. He can do it. Diaz as well. And Kyle Walker will come back into the side. So I expect a completely different game to the one that played last year. Having said that, if Ten Hag decides to go back to counter-attacking football, you guys do have some success with that against us because you sit deep, you make it difficult, and then you hit us on the counter-attack, with the pace. And that's where you've had success with us over recent years. But, you know what I mean? We got to be going there and getting the win because, like I said, I think these next 2 weeks are a couple big weeks for City and Arsenal because obviously Arsenal playing Sheffield United, we're playing Man United. But then next week we play Bournemouth and they play Newcastle. No, Newcastle got injuries, but it's at their place. There's a chance that they could do something there for us. So I think these next 2 weeks are huge. And listen, Terry, mate, I've got to be confident. You know what I mean? I'm confident in the team, but at the end of the day, it is a derby. We'll see what happens. But I'm feeling good, man. I feel like we won't. I feel like I said, I think last year I think Pep maybe got it wrong with the players at the back, and then obviously you got a huge stroke of luck with the refereeing decision. So this year, I'm feeling a lot more confident, man.
Yeah, look, I think you should. I think the only way we get anything out of this game is catching you on the counter. We haven't been good enough on the ball this year to think about trying to do it to you guys. I'm worried about us overcommitting and trying to play football because that's where we've been run through this year. I mean, the myth has been debunked that it's Casemiro's fault because it's happened to the midfield in the 2 games in which he's been missing. So yeah, I hope we do use our heads as a team. I hope that the manager realizes I want to try and play City off the park, but I can't. And we sit in deep, we make it hard, and we try and hit you on the counter. That's the only way we can get a result out of this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you tried to play football against us at the Etihad last year. We scored 6 goals against you.
Exactly.
The game that you beat us in the league, you sat back, you made it difficult. Our defense didn't have the abilities to play the ball forward, and you managed to get us on the break and score a couple of goals and win the match. Fundamentally, though, this game will be different because our back line will be completely different, and we'll be able to get that ball forward. We'll be able to create, you know what I mean? Because I expect United to sit back again, make it very difficult. We'll be able to get in between the lines and create chances. I don't know, but it's also at Old Trafford. You know what I mean? Are the United fans just going to accept United sitting on the edge of the box and just defending for 90 minutes? Probably not. You know what I mean? I don't expect them to defend that deep. So there probably will be gaps. It's whether or not we can exploit them. I do think, though, we will win this game. And like I said, I think we need to win the game. Arsenal are going to win their game against Sheffield United. So we'll be 3 points behind them by the time we play you guys.
Rivals. I think we would all agree City are the favourites for this game. I don't think a Man United fan would believe you if you said, no, I think you think Man United are. What is the case for Man United winning? Has anybody got one? Can anyone see United pulling this off and getting a win against City? And if so, how?
Counter-attack.
Yeah.
Counter-attack.
Wolves.
You got to beat them on the counter. You got to play a low block defensive football and go back to what you're doing the year before that, even the year before that. Make sure you set up well defensively. Don't play the way you've been trying to play at the beginning of the season where you're trying to play football with with other teams. Don't do that. Just be defensive, lock down, and Rashford suits the counterattack. This could be the game that he gets back into form. because the counter-attacking football suits Manchester United's players, and that's how you guys have been playing for a majority of the last couple of years. So they're accustomed to that, and it's not a coincidence. When you do play that way, you do get results against Man City.
See, the thing for me, like, I think that's the only way you beat City. You're gonna have to counter them. But when I'm looking at the individuals that I would expect to actually cause City problems, they've been underperforming. You know, you've got Bruno, you've got Rashford. These guys aren't, you know, providing that quality that you need in the final third. Even Garnacho, when he came on the other day, Terry, he was quite poor. Do you know what I'm saying? So the only way you're gonna beat them, like I said, is by countering. But I just don't see these guys turning up in this game, even though you're playing at home. Old Trafford has not been a fortress this year. Let's be real about it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't see how you win this game, man. I don't see it. Like, Rashford's gonna have to be Rashford of last year. You know, Bruno's gonna have to stop doing this grenade football stuff, and that's the only way. But I just don't see it because these guys are just not playing well right now. They're not.
I just don't. I can't see it. Saying counter attack is fine, and that is the way they should try and set up. But to sit down in a low block to set up the counter, you're inviting pressure on yourself. And I don't think Manchester United's defence is as solid as it was last year. I mean, I have no idea who's going to be at the back. I don't know who's fit, but I think it's going to be someone like Onana, Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Reguilon. That's not a strong defence. In front of it, Amrabat and McTominay. It's not the best midfield duo in terms of setting up deep and then getting the ball up quickly. You might try and change it up, but then you've got to worry about Fernandes and the fact that grenade launcher Fernandes is you're not going to get many opportunities. Is he going to make sure that he gets the right pass, the decisive pass to the player every time?
What do you mean you're not going to get many opportunities? He's the joint highest chance creator in the league this year. We're talking about.
So yes, that's
so you're going to ignore. You call it. So why is he the only creator?
That wasn't what I meant. I meant he's not going to get many opportunities in this game to create the opportunities in that sense. Right. Not that he hasn't done it this season. I mean, in this game up against the Man City, he's not going to get those opportunities. He's not going to get 5, 10, 15. He's going to get a couple, and he's got to make sure that they're bang on. Terry, this United team isn't as good as it was last year when they got the results. They don't have the same confidence. They don't at points have the same belief. So it would take a minor miracle. I also think City are due a big result because they've had a bit of there's been some critics, there's been some doubts for whatever reason. City like to make statements. I could easily see Haaland just rocking up at Old Trafford against a low block, a couple lucky bounces 1-0, a couple lucky bounces 2-0. This is where he operates.
United are due a big loss, bro. They're due a big loss.
Let's be honest though, Haaland has not been his scintillating best. City's attack has not been its scintillating best also. So this is where it might play into Manchester United's hands. Terry, I'm gonna have to go, but I'm just gonna say I want you guys to win 2-1 Manchester United. Let's get it. And Tom, you should be cheering for Manchester United to beat Man City. Obviously, if you want to win the league, we need to see City drop as much points as possible.
I would love a miracle to happen as well, but I don't believe in miracles.
Hey, if you did, you would have won a couple more league titles. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys.
Cheers, Gal. Top man.
Love you, Gal.
You know what about that as well, though, Tom, right, about the City thing? Is that's just messed my head up. This changing of what the hell? This whole thing as well about the City not being in great form. Like, if you look at the games that we play poorly, Rodri's not been there. You know what I mean? Rodri was back last night. We were very good. He was back against Leipzig a couple of weeks ago. He was very good. Like, Rodri is so pivotal to our team, and actually, I say it on a reg that he's actually a little bit of a problem for us because he's so good that when he's out of the team, we almost don't know what to do because we don't know how to replace him.
He should win the Ballon d'Or because of his importance to Man City. He's the most important player in a treble-winning side. Like, the big thing for me is I wonder. I don't know how well it will work. I'm sure you can tell me. Is there any world where Pep Guardiola lines up with like a back four of Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Rico Lewis, and just attempts to hold all of the ball with 4 quality players who have it on the ball? No, because I know Akanji's decent on the ball, but yeah. I think Gvardiol is the best on the ball passer out of the left side of ones.
Passer is. No, I think what he'll do is he'll go Gvardiol left, John Stones, Diaz in the middle, and Walker on the right. John Stones will push into the midfield, and you'll have a back three then of Gvardiol, Diaz, and Walker, which is very strong. And then you'll have a midfield 4 of Rodri, John Stones, probably Alvarez, and maybe Kovacic, and that'll be your midfield 4. The big question for me is who plays left wing, because Jeremy Doku at the moment is absolutely pulling up trees. I mean, I can't believe how well he started this season. He's terrorizing players, and I think he needs to probably improve his final ball ever so slightly. But the defenders hate playing against him. You can tell that already. But Jack Grealish last night was fantastic. Best game he's played this season. Created, I think, 3 big chances. So is he going to go back to Jack Grealish? Will he play Doku? I'm not sure. And people like to speak about Haaland. And yes, he's missed a few chances. He's still the Premier League top goal scorer. I think he's got 14 goals and assists already this season. So,
ridiculous. The narrative around Haaland is utterly ridiculous. He's on course on his stats. He's on course to beat last season's record. I don't understand the mentality of this. Haaland's not doing that good this year. I mean, what are people watching? Is it because he's not scoring a hat trick every game? I don't understand. I'd kill to have him in the front line.
From what I've seen, it's people. So there was 2 different things at the start of the season. He was scoring goals, but he was also missing some chances, and then it changed to. We didn't create anything for him against Wolves and Arsenal. We didn't create anything. And everyone went, oh, he's not doing anything. Well, as I've said on this show before, that's not what Haaland does. If you want, Haaland is a goal scorer. He stands in the box and he scores goals. If you wanted someone to drop deep, then you should have bought Harry Kane. They're 2 different players. If you don't create chances for Haaland, I'm quite happy to say he's not going to do that much for you because he's not that guy. He's one of the elite goal scorers of this generation. But like I say, now Rodri's back into the team, looks like we are creating chances, and he had like 7 shots last night. So we're clearly getting the ball to him. It's just unfortunate against Wolves and Arsenal, we didn't create anything for him, and everyone jumped on his back. But he's still top goal scorer, man.
I just think if United set up to try and hit City on the counter attack with the drop in quality, I'm going to say drop in quality, but I don't think it's the correct word. But the drop in level, that they've experienced from when they done it last year. They just run the risk of City just going, haha, no, and suffocating them because if they play Stones, Gvardiol, Diaz, Walker, that's a back 3 that can sit on the halfway line and just dominate possession and almost annoy Rashford and Fernandes and maybe Højlund and almost just kill the game out of them because they don't let them see the ball. And you add Rodri in there, who can just recycle possession. They've got Bernardo Silva, you had Jack Grealish, you have Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku, Julian Alvarez. It's a pain to deal with. And I don't think United have the same quality and the same discipline that they were last year. And I just think it would be a matter of when City just turn it on in that game. And for the 20-minute spell, United wouldn't be able to keep them out because of just the quality they have. And like I've been saying, City are due a statement win. And I could easily see it being this Old Trafford away against the United side that's a bit iffy at the minute. Just come, they had a good night against Copenhagen, but there was still a lot of question marks about that performance. City come in and just gone 4 or 5,